Donald Trump has been calling for any judge that defies him to be impeached. And oh, what do you know? There are some Republicans that immediately leap to action to protect Donald Trump as he tries to destroy the separation of powers. Of course, they don't mind that their power in Congress is done. It's worthless. They're cool with that. They're submissive in that way. Now they also want to stop the judiciary from stopping Donald Trump. And so Representative Brandon Gill is the first submissive that we will be discussing on today's show. He said Tuesday that he's introducing articles of impeachment against Boasberg, the judge that Trump has been railing against, arguing he, quote, overstepped his authority, compromised the impartiality of the judiciary, and created a constitutional crisis. Gill's 4-page impeachment resolution charges him with abuse of power, arguing that he, quote, did knowingly and willfully use his judicial position to advance political gain. And look, Representative Brandon Gill is a pathetic excuse for a man. He is just laying down to an authoritarian leader and doing his bidding. But I will give him credit for this. He does understand irony a little bit. And so as he's doing the alpha male Donald Trump's bidding, he's reversing reality in every way possible. So Trump is obviously overstepping his authority. Obviously, if the judge were to just go along with Donald Trump because Donald Trump whines hard enough, that would be compromising the impartiality of the judiciary. No, being independent doesn't compromise independence. Brandon Gill, you could learn something from this by growing a spine and maybe being an independent man, an actual man in elected office, rather than just doing what Donald Trump tells you over Truth Social to do. Donald Trump created the constitutional crisis by implying that any judge that defies him should be impeached. Brandon Gill is contributing to that crisis by putting forward these articles of impeachment. And the only one trying to advance political gain, well, not the only one, Donald Trump is certainly doing that by engineering this crisis in the first place, pretending that we're in the middle of some sort of war, invasion, or whatever, to get right wingers all fired up. That's for political gain. Brandon Gill, in enthusiastically bowing down to Donald Trump and helping to advance the death of America, is for his own sake trying to get a little bit of political gain. So I guess there's two of them, I suppose. And so, look, we knew that this was coming. Now there's 6 of them. Thankfully, it's not 50, it's not 100 right now. There's only a few like Brandon Gill that are this enthusiastically pathetic at this point, but I'm sure the numbers will swell. He'll probably get, Brandon Gill will, a Truth Social post from Trump where he says that he was a good little boy, and Brandon Gill will be super happy about that, Sharon. And so it moves. This is how it happens. Yesterday, you have Truth Social posts. Now we have the articles of impeachment. If I had to put money on it, I would say that they're not actually going to impeach him. But I'm not going to put all of my money on that, Sharon. That's the hellscape that we live in.
It's the hellscape we live in. You never know. And I could stand not to hear from the Chief Justice, John Roberts, now that it's at his doorstep and the friend that he has dinner with, this fellow judge. Oh, this is not what we do. Look, you've known who this guy is. And frankly, they may actually impeach. I probably am with you that they're not gonna do it because Trump's not too favorable right now. But if he calls over there and tells, folks in the House that you better do this, they'll do it, okay? This is what we're living with. And I've used the word pathetic too much, and I'm just getting angrier by the second, where I don't even wanna hear people who speak reason. I just told you I don't wanna hear from John Roberts, even though he's saying something decent now, because he's part of the problem. So I don't wanna really hear you speaking up now. Could have used that a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep speaking reason. Okay, hopefully you'll still listen to me. For the rest, we can ignore them.
Very soothing.
Yeah, so people are like, okay, so to actually do this, and I think it was Skittlebutt points out, obviously it has to go through the Senate eventually, and theoretically it's the sort of thing that you could filibuster. Well, I mean, there's lots of things that they could filibuster. Chuck Schumer doesn't really seem like he's in a fighting mood. Now, again, I would have to assume Chuck Schumer wouldn't go along with this, but I also didn't think he'd go along with the CR without getting anything in return. So who the hell knows? And that's assuming that they don't carve out, oh, well, obviously if a judge is damaging national security, then you just need a narrow majority. You don't think that they could potentially do that? We'll see together, I suppose. Thank Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.